So MrBeast has been involved in an iPhone deepfake scam where the AI created fake video shows the world's biggest YouTuber offering people new iPhones for $2. Many people are saying it will soon become impossible to know if a video online is real or not. I'm not sure if you managed to watch the video, but I could tell it was fake, but I feel like somebody who perhaps is a kid or maybe an elderly person watching it, it'll be very hard for them to tell. It was like a TikTok video, and the voice was him saying, hey, you know, click below and you get an iPhone for a couple of dollars or something. And in reality, that was a scam to collect, you know, card details or whatever. Interesting though, right, to see where deepfakes are going and what's going to happen. What are your takes on this?
No, I mean, I think it's about education, right? Like you have people learning to distinguish, and I mean, that's why the focus on education is so important. You need to educate people so they are smart enough to understand that this has to be a scam, that no one's going to give you an iPhone for $2 or whatever. Sure. That it's, I don't know, that, I mean, understanding and seeing these kind of things, these technical aspects of, like, sometimes you see something like a person with 3 hands or something like, or a third eye somewhere, and you have to be able to see that is a trick and understand the context of when they're saying or what they're saying and why this could be not real, right? But in a way, this is like in the context of a much bigger problem, which is like, can you believe or trust the media in general? It doesn't have to be a deep fake. It can be like these big corporations that own, like, I don't know how many media outlets, and they're like basically defining the narrative about the news and what they want to portray or how to interpret the
real.
news.
That's very
real. That's been happening forever, and that is the worrying thing. That's the worrying thing. I think it's like a much bigger problem, and it's all about education. I don't know.
There's these compilation videos on YouTube of news reporters saying exactly the same thing, word by word, line by line, tone by tone, and it's just crazy. It's like, because what happens is if you have a big news corporation like Fox or something, you have all the local affiliates, and if they're given the script and it kind of, you know, goes down to them all, you've got loads of different presenters each saying exactly the same thing. It starts to look very, very spooky.
That's
like
scary.
That's
really scary, yes. And that is the most obvious example, right? It's a grotesque example in which you see how obvious, how real this thing is, right? But it's like, there's more subtle things. Like, it's happening all the time.
Yeah. Like, this is like, you know, forget what you know the legacy media would say. This is, you know, somebody who is known for being generous and giving stuff away. I mean, it's MrBeast. That's his thing. I'm going to give you something for free. So they picked the perfect, you know, target to make this video with. And like you said, if it is too good to be true, then it probably is. But there are some people in the population that would fall for this. What's your take, Paolo, when you see this video?
Yes, to bounce on what you said, Juan. Basically, the problem is some people are still falling for emails scams where you're like, I'm a Nigerian prince or whatever, and then I'm gonna like have a bank account. So people are still clicking on those emails. So
wait, that's not real. I haven't won the lottery. What?
Sorry.
Yeah, Nigerian prince is that's the most famous example, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, and with the deepfake, it's harder and harder to find those issues, right? I think we are tech people, so we have the eye for it, right? We feel for it, like we have a sense, right?
Detail-oriented as well.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, as you said, like MrBeast is like a lot of his videos around giving away free stuff, so he's the perfect example. But like others, like Tom Hanks, for instance, where he has an advert for like a dentist, something like that. He never did it, so that's on a smaller scale an issue, right? It's still an issue, right? But yes, it will be more and more complicated, and it will be a cat and mouse problem, right? Like there are already like companies that are working on how can we find it's a deepfake, and then they'll manage to mark it's a deepfake, and then the deepfake will find another way. So it will be like a race to see which one is like the best. The marking
though, it makes me nervous because who's fact checking the fact checkers? Like who's deciding what is real? Like and who are they? Like they're a private company probably. Which, you know, makes me nervous as well.
I guess in a way the platforms are kind of trying to deal with this thing, with this blue check or whatever, these kind of things that are basically saying, okay, this person is who we know it's a validated, we check that this person is this real person or this source or whatever. Like, so in a way we need to get that from platforms. You have to, trust them in a way.
Okay, what's your take?
Yeah, I think for me it's about chain of trust. Now we've talked about it being the publisher who's trusted, a Twitter tick, whatever color. It is these days, what I would say here is it's almost like you want to treat every video you see as unverified. But of course, people, public figures, Tom Hanks for example, does publish his own videos, and if he verifies that that's the case, then I think you have a format where you can solve it in one way. It's a bit like how we solved the problem of encrypting traffic to, for credit card payments and everything else like that. That's a solved problem. It's a very centralized one because there are about 3 or 4 companies in the world that deal with that verification.
Yeah.
Much easier to do for websites and other things like that because you can automate a lot of what's involved as well. I wonder if there's a similar level of effort, probably more, for this kind of verify publisher, verify video type thing. And then you would look at a video and your browser, or whatever it would be, would say, you can't trust this video because it's unverified. I think approaching it from the other way around might be an interesting way to tackle this.
Okay.
But at the same time, I would try to avoid make it completely illegal, the deepfake, because you can use it in the cinema industry, for instance. Why not when you hire a bunch of people to do in the background, AI is already good and CGI is already good, right? Yeah. But if you can do deepfake sometimes, and you can sell your image, right? That would be interesting.
Bruce Willis already has.
Yes.
So he has some illness and he's not able to make movies anymore. So he sold the rights to his face to an AI company, a production company, who are going to be continuing making movies of him forever, which is great. He's a great actor, right? But it's obviously not him. But it is him. But is it him? I don't know.
It's very interesting, yeah. The thing with the albums that I think they were doing some Beatles.
Yeah, well, we did a story on it.
I think it's fantastic.
They've got one final Beatles song coming. It's not quite AI generated. It's AI polished. They've found old recordings of John Lennon, which no one's ever heard, but they're really, really grainy, and so they've put on some AI spice to make it pop, and so it's interesting to see it being used in the creative world, right? Yeah.
But I think it maybe is switching attitudes from I can trust what I'm seeing to I can't trust what I'm seeing until proven otherwise as well. And maybe that's a more general change that's only starting to happen.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess last question for you all then, around that trust element. How long do you think it will be until you can type in, I want this person to say this script. You can pick the actor. I want Tom Hanks. I want Elon Musk, I want MrBeast, I want whoever, and then click generate, and it will instantly generate a video which is completely identical to the real thing, and you can't tell the difference. And then that could be posted, reposted, and forget, verification marks. If it's on someone's TikTok feed, they're not going into it and fact checking every single thing they see online. So how long do you think it will be? If you had to predict, are we saying a year? Are we saying 5 years? Are we saying 10 years? Are we saying never? Until we can replace genuine videos with deep fakes that are identical? What would each of your guesstimates be?
I mean, I have the impression that the technology is already there. I don't know. I think I haven't played much with it, but I think it's actually possible now.
But right now it takes a lot of work. Well, I imagine they've got to go into specialist software.
I'm
talking because when this becomes available to anybody on a scale, when somebody makes an app called, you can just AI avatar, and you can say anything you want, any script, any tone. You can pick angry, sad, tired, scared. You can have other actors come in. How long do you think that will take? If I started this, I would say very, very soon, probably within a year or two, you're gonna have that out there.
Yeah.
Same, I would say in a year, because you have all those image generation already that are there and that have APIs.
Yeah.
ChatGPT has an API.
Yeah.
So because everything is API based now, so
linking it together.
Now it's a matter of so there are still some issues, quirks. You can see you talked about the free hands or the fingers also. It's really hard to
the big one on DALL-E.
Yeah, and or some grammatical issues sometimes with. But it's very soon, right? And there is already David Guetta, who made also a false fit with Eminem. I think I don't remember if it was with
like
permission.
A fake music video.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
yeah, exactly. So,
Okay.
So yeah, it's already there, right? So as you said, like,
And
it's
it's
a bit
the
hard,
worst
but
it will ever
very
be.
soon.
It's never going to get worse like AI.
Yes.
It's just always going to get better
Yes.
and better and better. It's not going backwards.
Yeah, they're going to solve these little problems and things and issues, and it's all a matter of integration. That's what I'm saying. I think the technology is already there.
Yeah.
It's like the main hurdles that they went through, and it's done. So basically, in terms of like you say the script, and basically you say, okay, I want this person to say this, but not only I want them to say this, I want to say them to say this in the way in which they say these kind of things.
Yeah.
So basically, because they speak in certain ways, using certain tones, certain words, and certain idiomatic phrases or whatever. So basically, and you can get there. There are things like avatars that are basically reproducing or talking in the way that certain people talk because they analyze their speech and the way they speak it from every perspective, basically. So you can get that together with the videos and how people move around.
We're all of the
how
same
they act.
opinion.
Yeah.
A couple of years, right?
Yeah. So I
What do
think
you think?
Absolutely, it's the next stage in generative content, so it'll be the next big thing. We'll talk about it for 6 months, and then it's going to be seen as much more about helping to generate ideas, compose things together. You know, it's not going to have quite the same effect as, say, ChatGPT did, but we get, I think, the concept of then the limits, hopefully, of generative content in that sense now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this point in time, we don't know if the text we read on the internet is ChatGPT generated or human generated as well. It'll start to be the same sort of problem for audio and video, and of course, as we've said, that's much more insidious as a problem.